We're getting a new Wayan Brothers scary movie, something I just never thought would happen again in my lifetime. So it's only appropriate. I got to talk about 1 and 2 this week. Scary movie hype for the next 42 hours. Specifically, though, the Wayan Brothers scary movie films, because it feels weird to talk about the ones that they actively talk about that feel insulting to the fact that they got the rights taken away from them about their own creation. It feels odd to talk about 3 and 4 in that regard, and 5. So, mainly just the first 2. And Scary Movie, just for some context, some story time for me, it holds such a special, nostalgic place in my heart. This is a touchstone of the year 2000. This movie did so much in terms of just the parody genre and the scene. It was kind of like the next level, started the next wave post the Mel Brooks popularity. It's a very different type of humor from Mel Brooks humor, and I'm not trying to say that to compare the two, because I think that'd be pointless. I think the Wayans go for a different type of comedy. It's a little more irreverent and in your face, for better and sometimes worse. But with Scary Movie, it holds so much charm. I remember vividly the time I discovered Scary Movie. It was, at first, I heard of Scary Movie 4 and those films before that, but I was at about the age of, I think, 6 or 7. It was around that time. I think it was actually 10 or 9. It was it was the summer before I started middle school, towards the end of my elementary school. Years blend together after a while, but the point is, I just remember my brother-in-law coming in with a box full of his DVDs, and there were a few movies in there that my parents did not really want me to see, and Scary Movie was one of those movies. But my brother-in-law let me watch it. At the time, it was just my sister's boyfriend, who was cool as hell, but he let me watch that movie, and he shouldn't have. The monster he created. I was obsessed with Scary Movie, and there were so many jokes I didn't even understand at the time, but I would replay that DVD so much, mainly because there is just this energy and vibrancy that is contagious from the Wayans. And as a kid, it's a lot of that irreverent humor it does, even when it is something you don't understand. The timing of it, the wit, the speed at which it's delivered is really satisfying to watch. And as a kid, I ate it up. I was always laughing. I'm surprised that DVD of Scary Movie 1 did not get destroyed at the amount of times I replayed it. But as the years have gone on, as I've grown up, I'm 25 now, and the amount of times I've watched Scary Movie, it's beyond times I could count. And over the years growing up, I finally gotten able to identify why I love this movie so much. It's the creative and enthusiastic energy of the Wayan brothers, combined with the fact that the cast and crew just loved what they were making, and you could feel them having fun with it in the moment. It bleeds through the screen when you watch the first Scary Movie. Even when a joke isn't landing for me now as an adult in Scary Movie, I'm appreciating the fact that I can feel the energy of everyone on set having the time of their lives. And it's in a way that feels like there's some kind of magic that it's not in many movies now, but it's hard to put my finger on it. But not only that, it's just a well-rounded movie. It has a 3-act structure, and it actually attempts to have a story structure with characters you know. I'm not saying it's deep and complex, but I do like that Scary Movie 1 hones in on characters. You know everyone's shtick, but you feel like they do stand out as their own characters amongst each other. Each character has their kind of shtick, and that sometimes that can run the danger of feeling like a one-trick pony, but it's substituted by the fact that everyone has chemistry with each other. You can feel the history amongst the characters, kind of like the first Scream movie that it's parodying. Scary Movie 1 is mainly a parody of Scream 1 and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Other jokes and hints of other movies and references are sprinkled throughout the film, of course, but I like that Scary Movie 1 has a focus. It focuses on those 2 films to kind of give it a comprehensible structure to tell a story on top of its jokes. There's still a murder mystery element going on, and if you haven't seen the movie, it's fun discovering who that killer might be in the Scream-esque scenario. And it's even more fun because it's a comedic spoof parody, so you can kind of get away with more fake outs and more outrageous reveals and how people end up being the killer and who you get revealed to see who it is. I like how the movie, because it's spoof, it can just bend the rules and have fun with that, and it knows what it is. That creative atmosphere just oozes through the screen because the chemistry shines. The characters in this are hilarious. Take your pick. Bobby, Cindy, Ray, Shorty, Brenda. Every character has a standout line or a standout moment that has shaped the humor of my generation. The amount of times I've scrolled past TikTok audios or just audios online in general or memes about Brenda's character alone, it's insurmountable. I love Cindy and Brenda's friendship because it almost reads as Brenda is just fucking tired of Cindy, but they're still besties at the end of the day. But you have moments in the series where Brenda's like, why can't this bitch just go away? Also calling out the macho man persona that men had to put on instead of just being in touch with their feelings with the character of Ray. I've always loved that parody of that early 2000s meanness. Early 2000s is definitely a harsh era for those who just wanted to love who they want to love. I do find it interesting that the way it's kind of called that out in this movie. Bobby carrying the shtick of making fun of what Billy was like in the first Scream movie, that kind of cute boy persona, but he's just kind of not pulling it off as much, but it feels like an intentional point of the character to do so. One of my favorite jokes with Bobby is when they're just like, why is he always late to school? He lives so close. Then the next cut is just him coming out of a trailer, and he says bye to about 17 or 20 people in his little house and walks right over next door to school. And he's just late, but he's literally next door. Like, it's simple jokes like that, but the timing of the edit to the character beat, to the energy of Bobby just casually coming out, chugging a drink, tossing it, does not give a fuck. It's very character driven for who he is as a character while a joke is happening. It makes it funny. Little bits of character like Ghostface actually having a good time with Shorty instead of taking the characters out right away. Like, the moments like that where you're like, oh, Ghostface, he's kind of having a little fun with this. He's not just, a spicy killer like in the Scream movies. He just got almost a smoke at times. As a kid, that was one of those moments that I felt bad for the stoners that get taken out by Ghostface, because I'm like, oh man, they were just having some fun. And even Ghostface was having fun. They could have been cool. But then you went and get the illest rhyme ever from the illest Ghostface ever, in the words of Shorty. And what helps with these jokes is Scary Movie moves at a pace. So, it's always electric. Even when a joke doesn't work for you, the movie has already moved ahead to a few more that might hit you instead. And it again comes from that contagious energy. You hear the stories about on set, if you look into it, the Wayan Brothers talk about how they would just show up on set one day, and even the actor for Shorty would just improvise what his character would do. They would talk about, all right, what would Shorty do for the day? And they would find things that work within character, but have fun with it, play with it, not overstructure it, but still keep it moving within the plot. It's impressive at how much humor feels improvisational in this, but yet the movie still feels structured in on a specific story, focusing on parodying Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer, combining those two murder mysteries together for a parody of them. And it all helps that we're led by an incredible lead in Anna Faris as Cindy. She is so good in this. I'm always so impressed by her performance because she is just so earnest and playing the dumbest fucking person ever. And she's so good at it. I feel like that's mean. I'm not saying that the actor is like that. I'm saying she's such a great performer. She brings so much to the performance and playing it so earnestly that she's just a great actress. She pulls it off, and Cindy's one of those standout characters. Her and Brendan, their dynamic comes from earnesty, so it hits. Yeah, things have been pretty crazy since we, killed that guy. One of the funniest casual line deliveries in the movie, provided by Anna Faris. And some jokes have become even more topical today. How much satisfaction do you get now, especially with theater audiences, from that scene with Brenda in the movie theater and how it concludes? Commentary on movie theater audiences only got better with age, especially with that joke. And I think a lot of the love and passion that comes from Scary Movie shines because you get the vibe that the Wayans weren't just making fun of what they were parodying, they were making fun with it, laughing alongside it. You can tell it comes from people who have a love of horror cinema. It comes from the fact that these people want to homage to these other movies and make fun with them, not just of them. And it came from a place of passion where they wanted to do this. It wasn't some contractual obligation like the later Scary Movies post Wayan Brothers time, where it was just like, yeah, we got to make a parody because horror movies are coming out. Let's make some bank. Scary Movie from 2000 is a prime example of a movie that knows exactly what the fuck it is and is totally unashamed of it. Unapologetic in its execution, passion-filled in its delivery. The pacing is also impeccable. You're moving at a mile a minute, you're in and out, and it knows what it is. It's a labor of love for the horror genre and comedy genre in both cases. And I cannot wait to see what to do with the modern era now with Scary Movie 6. Do you guys enjoy Scary Movie from 2000? Do you have nostalgia with it like I do? Are you excited for Scary Movie 6? Guys, thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. Leave a like, leave a comment, come talk about movies with us, come talk about stories with us. I'll see you next time.